Gentlemen, welcome back to MGTOW Money. Today's topic, the ex-slaves of West Palm. Before we get to that, thanks to the ongoing support from the Patreon investors in this channel, and thank you to those guys who bought me a cup of coffee via Bitcoin, via PayPal on the last video. And by the way, welcome Jose, the newest Patreon supporter of this channel. Jose, thanks for becoming an investor in this channel. Men, see the video description of today's video. Become a supporter of this channel. Before I get to that, I also want to mention a book recommendation. It is very relevant to today's topic. It's called Legalizing Prostitution from Illicit Vice to Lawful Business. It's by a sociology professor out of George Washington University. See the video description today to a link to that book. On today's topic, sex slaves of West Palm. Men, just because someone's a billionaire does not mean that they have common sense. Specifically, I'm talking about the recent arrest of Robert Kraft. As some of you might know, Robert Kraft is a high-profile, if you will, billionaire in the United States. He's worth around about $6 billion USD, and among other things, owns the New England Patriots NFL team in the United States. Specifically, recently, he was arrested at what I feel like is a cheap strip center, a strip shopping center at a Asian massage parlor, and again, allegedly, he was arrested and charged for two different occasions of engaging requests for, quote, sexual services. Now, let me emphasize very, very clearly, this man is innocent. He is innocent until proven guilty. And just because he has been charged, that means nothing whatsoever. He has a right to his day in court to defend himself. All right, so what can you, though, learn from this incident? Because there are three big takeaways you need to take from this. Before I get into those takeaways, though, let me mention our sponsor here. Men, I know that you want to be smarter and you want more money. And one of the most effective ways that you can be smarter and get more money, at least I found in my own life, is to read books. However, I, like you, I don't have a lot of time, or at least I used to not have as much time as I now do today. One of the best ways that you can learn and pick up new skills, etc., is through audiobooks. You're driving around, you're commuting to work, you're at the gym, etc. I do it all the time. I'm using audiobooks. Go get your free audiobooks. You can get 2 free audiobooks from audible.com. Audible is owned by Amazon.com. Yes, you know Amazon. Audible will give you 2 free audiobooks by taking a trial. It costs you nothing. You can cancel the trial literally the day after you get it started online. You don't have to talk to anyone. There's no tricks. There's no scams. There's no schemes here. Go to the video description today. Grab your 2 audiobooks now. Back to topic. Men, as I've mentioned in the past, the most important thing that you do not want to do in your entire life, if you listen to nothing else from this channel, do not break the law in your jurisdiction. Whether your state, your city, your county, your country, whatever, follow the laws as best you can regarding everything and anything. The reason why I'm emphasizing this point and why, again, I did a video about this in the past is that you do not, under any circumstances, if you can possibly avoid it, want to get involved with law enforcement and the court system. They are not your friends. Let me say it more clearly. They are not your friends once you get involved with them. They want convictions. They specifically want you convicted and moved through the system. If you want, quote, justice, unquote, good luck. You're not going to find it in this life. Bottom line is, avoid at all costs breaking the law in your specific area. 2, instead, men, of course, again, as I've suggested in the past, start seeking out areas of the world, of your particular country, whatever, that allow you to engage in, quote, those illegal activities in your area, that it's actually legal in those particular areas. A lot of guys for decades, I'm just going to use an example, used to take pot vacations over to Amsterdam, Holland, where, of course, pot has been legal for decades. Furthermore, another example, most recently, was when Colorado, 4 or 5 years ago, legalized pot. I know for many guys who would fly to Colorado specifically because they wanted to smoke dope. Cool. If you want to do that, man, that's awesome. The point is, look for particular areas of your country or countries outside your country where things are legal. For example, back to this relevant topic, there are parts of the United States where prostitution is, guess what? It is legal. It is 100% legal. See the slide that I've included, for example, where parts of Nevada, it is legal. There are also numerous countries around the world where it is 100% legal to engage a quote-unquote prostitute, a commercial sex worker. You do not have to feel like you're forced to do something in your particular area that is legal. You just need to get off the sofa and go somewhere where it's legal, and you too can find freedom in an unfree world. 3, most importantly, men, whether we're talking about prostitution, whether we're talking about commercial sex work, etc., these terms all mean the same thing in my mind. These terms are referring to something, specifically a victimless crime. In my opinion, just like illegal drugs, if there are 2 adults coming together voluntarily and we have an exchange, again, voluntary exchange, there is no victim. I've seen numerous news reports going back to this Robert Kraft case, talking about, again, this Asian massage parlor where, quote unquote, these women were forced to be there, where they could never leave, where they were working all the time, where none of them spoke English, where they all had to share some sort of common rooms and kitchens, etc. I don't know about all those details. I find, quite frankly, a lot of them exaggerated, but let's just stipulate that they're all true. So they're all 100% true. Okay, what they're not telling you, men, is how probably horrific, horrible, unbelievably terrible their living conditions were back in their respective countries. Specifically, it references that these women were Chinese. If you've ever spent any time in China or know anything about China, you would know, let me just give you a picture here. Millions, hundreds of millions of people are living in dirt huts, if you will. Don't be misled by thinking everything looks like Beijing, Shanghai, etc. There's probably 500 million, 500 million people, 1.5 times the U.S. living with basically no running water, limited electricity, and an outdoor toilet. Oh, and furthermore, a lot of those same people, they're working out in a rice field for a few dollars a day. So they're working 10 or 12 hours a day in a rice field, 7 days a week, and living on basically 90 USD a month. Do you think they're happy? Do you really think they're having joy in their heart, etc.? Stop projecting. And I know that some of you probably are, but you got to stop projecting your American middle class values on how other people should be living and the type of work they should be doing, and think about what the alternative is. Always think about the relative to where these people came from. And you know what? It might be better than what they were in before. Finishing. No one should feel like a slave. No one should be forced to do something that they really don't want to do. And you should never feel like that, well, I have to go to work or I have to do X, Y, or Z. Instead, men, you need to reframe that and think, I choose to do it. Because if you want to expand your choices, instead of you want to say, well, I either go to work or my electricity gets cut off and I get evicted from where I'm living. If you want to move beyond that, if you want to add some additional choices to your life, you're going to focus on achieving FU money at the earliest possible age you can. Gentlemen, hit the like button if you found this profitable. John Galt out.